Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. And I've come back today to give you updates of the most talked about or the most trending football tournament whose trophy is donated by Princess Ebudewane. And of course, we know that the trophy is dedicated to the memorial of Kang Ewana Elvis, the legend. When we're talking about legends in the Nhiafoot, we talk about people like Kang Ewana Elvis and many more. And ladies and gentlemen, it should be noted that today, Sunday, the 14th of this month of August, we are going to be having the semi-finals. But before I come to that, savor this beautiful moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Edmond Elime, alias Edibobo. Okay, I'm going to be giving you updates of this beautiful tournament that can all be likened to English Premier League. I've always said that, and a lot of people are confirming it. Football lovers are confirming it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be hot today at the Gia Unity Stadium. Before I come to talking about today's semi-finals, which are going to be started at 1 p.m. today, let me give you a recap of what happened last Thursday, which of course was day 5 and the last day of the second phase or the second round of this tournament, if you want to call it so. And of course, we had very serious clashes on that day as people or as various teams were striving so hard to get tickets in to move to the next stage of the semi-finals. We know very well that it's only Basel FC and Red Stars who had already qualified for the semi-finals, as we're talking about looking at Thursday clashes. And of course, in one of the matches of that day, we had Strikers of Mwelong versus Abu FC of Mwaninguba, where Strikers defeated Abu by 2-0. And in the second game, which of course was a very tight game, as well as was the first one, where I mean, we needed to see how these teams could pick up a ticket to move forward. And in that second game, we had Red Stars of Mwasum, who of course already qualified. But I did tell people that Mwasum was not going to take that match for granted, because they were fighting so hard to bounce back to the first position, which of course was not possible on that day, because first position would have placed them or would have pegged them with a weaker team at the semi-finals stage, ladies and gentlemen, if they had beaten Posta FC. Unfortunately, that match also ended at a 1-1 all tie, and the Red Stars remain at the second position of the tournament, just below the Basel FC, who have topped the league from the group stage to that second round with 21 points, and then followed by Red Stars of Mwasum with 17 points after having drawn that game against Posta. And of course, Posta was expected to win that game to move to the semi-final stage. Unfortunately, they could not defeat the Red Stars of Mwasum to have their tickets that will take them to the semi-final stage. And of course, they joined the Santos FC of Mbat on the elimination bench as they drew that game, unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, and in the third match of that day, we had Santos FC, who had already been disqualified, forfeiting that match, and that gave 3 points to Basel FC, ladies and gentlemen, to keep them on the top of the competition, looking at the classification table with 21 points, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, after that those matches, we had Red Stars of Basel FC of Moabi, Red Stars of Mwasum, strikers of Mwelong and Abu of Mwaninguba moving to the semi-finals of this wonderful tournament. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Clash of the Titans. I've always said that because we have critical encounters today, ladies and gentlemen. And in the first semi-final game, we are going to have what happened last year to be repeated again this year, but perhaps not in the results, ladies and gentlemen. And we have strikers of Mwelong who are going to confront the Restars of Mwasum. And the same thing happened last year. Semi-finals was between one of the semi-final games, ladies and gentlemen, was between the Restars of Mwasum versus the Strikers of Mwelong, where the Strikers defeated Restars of Mwasum to have them disqualified out of the competition. Today, the Restars of Mwasum will not want history to be repeated, ladies and gentlemen. They are very much determined to pick up a ticket to play the finals this year. They have always been at the top form of the Nhiafoot, but football being what it is, being booted out of the competition at the semi-finals, and that's what makes today's this semi-final match of Strikers Mwelong versus Restars of Mwasum a very special one, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a very tough match as Restars will not want history to be repeated or the Strikers to defeat them again. And we know that the Strikers defeated them during the group stage matches a few days ago, and I don't think Restars of Mwasum will want that slap to be given them again today. Ladies and gentlemen, that one is going to be the first match at exactly 1 p.m. and at 3 p.m. we are going to have Bazo, the current cup holders, the current title holders, versus Abu FC, who have been very phenomenal in this competition. Abu have shown people during this season that football can become something else at any time, or a particular team can become something else at any time as far as football is concerned. Therefore, Bazo FC, whom I learned have brought in a lot of professionals to confront Abu FC today, are not going to have it easy in the hands of Abu FC. Ladies and gentlemen, before the end of today, we will give you the scores and we will know which teams are going to pick up tickets to the finals of Princess Ebude Ewanes Trophy. And of course, it is a twin trophy. We continue reminding people of that. It's 1 million francs and divided into two to have 500,000 francs for the male category and 500,000 francs for the female category. And we want to remind you that on the 16th of this month of August, the women will be playing their semi-finals as well. And we're going to have Posta FC versus the Bazo FC. And of course, we have Santos women versus the Strikers women, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how we are going to be having it. And today is going to be hot at Nga Unity Stadium. Thank you very much, Princess Ebude, for what you have done for Nga people. And let us remind you again that the training for the women and girls is ongoing and registration is going on, and we are going to have the best trainee who will be awarded prizes. I don't know how many trainees are going to be awarded prizes, maybe only 1 or 2 or 3, and at the end of the competition, on the final day, we are going to see who the best trainee is, and that person will be awarded a prize to start up small something. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Until the end of the day, I'll be giving you a report of what transpired. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah.